You just crushed a deadline at work, got home at 9 p.m., and stood in front of the fridge eating peanut butter straight from the jar because cooking felt impossible. Ever wonder why every diet you start during a stressful period crashes and burns harder than your New Year's resolutions? Today I'll explain why cutting sugar backfires when you're already burned out, like you're 5 years old. By the end, you'll understand why your body fights you on this and what actually works when stress is running the show. Here's what nobody tells you about stress and sugar. When you're chronically stressed, work deadlines, money problems, family drama, or just existing in 2024, your body pumps out cortisol constantly. Cortisol is your stress hormone, and it does something sneaky. It raises your blood sugar even when you haven't eaten anything. Your body thinks a bear is chasing you, so it floods your system with glucose to give you energy to run. Except there's no bear. There's just your inbox with 47 unread emails and a meeting that should have been a text message. Your blood sugar is spiking from stress alone, and you haven't touched a single cookie yet. Your body can't distinguish between physical danger and psychological pressure. A threat is a threat, whether it's a predator or your boss asking to see you in their office. Now imagine you decide to get healthy and cut out all sugar and carbs. No bread, no pasta, no dessert, no fruit. Just chicken and broccoli until you see abs or pass out. Your brain interprets this as another threat. It's like your body is already dealing with a fire, and you just shut off the water supply. Your cortisol stays high, your blood sugar gets even more unstable, and your brain starts screaming at you to eat something. This isn't a character flaw. This is biology doing exactly what it's designed to do. Research shows that dietary restriction during periods of high stress can actually increase cortisol levels by up to 20%. You're literally adding stress on top of stress, and your body responds by hitting the panic button harder. Here's where it gets wild. When you're stressed and you aggressively cut carbs, your sleep gets worse. Cortisol and blood sugar are supposed to drop at night so you can actually rest. But if you're running on fumes all day and your body is in panic mode, your cortisol stays elevated. You lie in bed at midnight, wide awake, thinking about that presentation tomorrow. You're also weirdly fixating on whether you have ice cream in the freezer. You don't because you threw it out during your motivated phase 3 days ago. Now you're annoyed at past you for being so ambitious. Poor sleep makes your cortisol worse the next day. Worse cortisol makes your cravings stronger. Stronger cravings make you more likely to crack. It's a cycle that feeds itself. Your brain needs glucose to produce serotonin, the calming neurotransmitter that helps you fall asleep. When you restrict carbs too hard, you're literally blocking the chemical pathway your brain uses to wind down at night. And then comes the rebound. You've been white-knuckling it for days, maybe a week if you're really determined. You're tired, you're cranky, and someone at work ate your clearly labeled leftovers from the fridge. You stop at the store on the way home for one thing, just milk. Suddenly you're standing in the checkout line with cookies, chips, candy, and a pint of ice cream you don't even remember grabbing. You eat all of it in one sitting while watching Netflix, and then you feel like you failed. But here's the truth. You didn't fail. Your biology won. You were fighting a war on two fronts, stress and restriction, and your body chose survival. Studies on dieters show that the restrict-binge cycle isn't about willpower. It's about your brain detecting an energy deficit and overriding your conscious decisions to protect you from perceived starvation. This matters to you because we've been told the same advice on repeat. Just eat less sugar. Just have more willpower. Just try harder. The advice assumes your hormones are calm and your life is stable. But if you're stressed, sleep-deprived, under-eating, or skipping meals because you're too busy, that advice isn't just unhelpful, it's actively making things worse. You're not broken, you're not weak. You're just trying to use the wrong tool for the job. Most diet advice is designed for people who are already metabolically healthy and living low-stress lives. The rest of us are trying to apply elite athlete protocols while juggling jobs, relationships, bills, and everything else life throws at us. So what actually works? Instead of cutting sugar like it's the villain in your story, you stabilize everything else first. Eat enough food. That's step one. Your body can't tell the difference between a diet and a famine. If you're eating 1,200 calories a day while working a full-time job, commuting, and pretending to have a social life, your body thinks resources are scarce. It will defend every ounce of fat like a dragon guarding treasure. You need to eat enough to convince your body that it's safe. For most people, this means eating closer to 1,800 to 2,200 calories, depending on activity level. When you eat enough, your metabolism doesn't slow down, your cortisol doesn't spike from undereating, and your brain stops sending constant hunger signals. Next, prioritize protein. Protein keeps your blood sugar stable. It's like putting a weighted blanket on your blood sugar levels instead of letting them ride a roller coaster all day. When your blood sugar is stable, your cravings calm down. You stop thinking about food every 17 minutes. You can actually focus on your work without daydreaming about pizza. Aim for protein at every meal. Eggs at breakfast, chicken or beans at lunch, fish or tofu at dinner. It doesn't have to be fancy. It just has to be consistent. Protein also takes longer to digest than carbs, which means you stay full longer and your energy doesn't crash midday. Stop skipping meals. When you skip breakfast because you're rushing out the door, and then you skip lunch because you're in back-to-back meetings, and then you finally eat at 4 p.m., your blood sugar has been on a roller coaster all day. By the time you get home, you're ravenous, and your decision-making skills have left the building. You're not choosing a balanced dinner. You're choosing whatever is fastest and tastes like a hug. Eating regular meals, even if they're simple, keeps your blood sugar from crashing and your cortisol from spiking. Think of regular meals as preventative maintenance for your hormones. And this is the one everyone skips: sleep. You can eat perfectly, hit your protein goals, and meal prep like an influencer, but if you're sleeping 5 hours a night, your hormones are still a mess. Poor sleep increases cortisol, increases cravings, decreases willpower, and makes you more likely to reach for sugar the next day. It's like trying to run a marathon with a sprained ankle. Prioritize sleep like it's your job. Turn off your phone an hour before bed. Make your room dark. Stop scrolling social media at 1 a.m. and wondering why you're tired. Just one night of poor sleep can reduce your insulin sensitivity by up to 30%, which means your body handles blood sugar worse the next day, even if you eat the exact same foods. Here's what you need to understand. When your cortisol calms down, your cravings quiet down on their own. You don't need more discipline. You don't need to try harder. You need less stress. You need more sleep. You need to eat enough food that your body stops thinking it's in survival mode. The cravings aren't the problem. They're the symptom. Fix the signal and the behavior follows. To recap, cutting sugar aggressively during stress doesn't work because cortisol is already spiking your blood sugar. Your body interprets restriction as another threat, wrecks your sleep, and cranks up cravings until you crack. You're not failing because you lack willpower. You're failing because you're fighting your biology with the wrong strategy. Instead, stabilize your meals, eat enough protein, stop skipping food, and prioritize sleep. When your hormones calm down, the cravings follow. You don't need a stricter diet. You need a calmer nervous system. If you want more specific strategies on how to manage stress eating or build better meal timing around a chaotic schedule, let me know and I'll break those down in future videos. So here's the real question. What's one thing you're going to change this week? More sleep, regular meals, or just eating enough? And which one do you think will make the biggest difference for you?